chili pops. Cannonball, don't trust a cop. Johnny Spotswood just don't know when to stop. Yeah, and if you don't like it, you better take your ass up to the snooty box, cause this is the loud spot. Okay, see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian, right out of Oklahoma City. We got to put some musical chairs over here real quick with the camera. Ava's here with us, and we got Steven from Animal Sun. Ava, did your phone log off and then you have to log back on?
Yes. Well, it's my fault. I tried to plug my phone in with my,
Okay. All right, Animal Sun. Steven, what's up, dude?
Dude, I am in the process of sharing this live on our Facebook page. I do not think it worked. Oh, it worked.
All right.
Yay.
Wow.
Miracle.
This not as technologically challenged as I thought.
I'll say that this has been the most interesting night so far.
Yes.
With technical difficulties. We were supposed to start at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. An hour later, we finally are here. So,
You made it.
we made it. All right, this is Animal Sun's second trip to the Loud Spot, man. So we're excited about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a good week to be here right after the album release, and super stoked to talk music with you guys.
Yeah, dude. And this is the what was I gonna say? This is, I don't remember. Anyways, I was gonna say something. I forgot. I want to pop this on the screen real quick. Sharon said Sam's fave. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. The platform has changed since you were on last time, which wasn't even that long ago. I don't feel like.
February.
Okay, February. So it's been a little bit, and the band has actually made quite a bit of progress, haven't you?
Yeah, we've definitely jumped way the hell up, and I don't want to like brag, but really you're gonna see the main jump by like between now and October. So really, this is just a stepping stone.
Awesome.
So yeah, we got a lot of things.
I really, really, really like your music.
Thank you.
And you said that you're going to be coming to Austin. Do you know when? Because I'd love to go.
I have to look at tour schedule. Absolutely, come hang out backstage with us.
Awesome.
Where the fuck? I can look at the messages with Sam. I believe it's in September.
Sweet.
Oh, that's right around. That's right around the corner.
It's either early September or late August.
Yeah, it's not every day. It's not every day Ava messages me and says, I really like this band. Like, she actually texted that to me tonight while I was going on my evening jog, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's like the first time that's ever happened, I think.
Yeah. We were on this podcast. What was it called? Like a State of the Scene or something. And it was funny. They were talking about like all these like major bands like Water Parks and whatnot. And then they got to us and they were talking about how well we dress. And I was like, ooh, I like that compliment. Like this is and like I focused on that. Like they were talking about the More Than a Friend music video and how it was like so LA. And I'm like, is it so LA? Because to me, like LA is kind of like dirty.
right.
Depends on which part.
LA it's not like neon lights. It looks that way from afar, like when you're driving down the highway. And that's what really inspired this album was like I would be driving home, at night and I would see, or not just LA. I mean, I've done several road trips or, traveling for shows or whatever. And, you would come down, like it would be Baltimore, Denver, LA, and you would just see this brilliant cityscape. It almost looked like something out of like a movie. And that was really what inspired me to just create this universe. What's up, Steven?
What up?
To create this universe with the record because we were at Tron. The stuff that 1975 did was kind of like a precursor to this. We wanted to take that and make something that almost felt dystopian, almost something like you would see in Blade Runner. Like it was like neon and futuristic, but also retro, and like it just became this universe when it started out as like an homage to like all of those things, and then it just became its own thing.
That's cool. That's cool. I do want to give a shout out to all the people that are watching right now, especially Raquel. Tiffany, thank you so much for sending the video to us. And Stephen Blades, he's a good buddy of mine. So I'm happy we got some people watching this live stream. And speaking of your live streams, you guys just had a live stream, a pre-recorded live stream on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we didn't promote as much as I wanted to, but for me, it was really about trying to give something back to the fans who've been, because we have our fan base is so scattered. It's like there's a lot of people in the UK, there's a lot of people in the US, all over, and obviously being a band that's still up and coming, that doesn't have the ability to just go play all over the world. I wanted to okay, if you were to see us in a club, I mean, minus the stage and sticky beer floor, right? It would be kind of like this. So that was the idea. And we're going to leave the live stream up there for a while for fans that missed, because it was so last minute, that missed it, to rewatch it like it was a concert for a little bit. And it was really, really amazing experience. We got a lot of the same people that helped out with the music videos and all that stuff that helped make that come to be. So very
Nice.
stoked on it.
Is that so that's the only live stream you guys have done?
We've done acoustic ones, but not one that was full scale production, lights,
Gotcha.
Mixing, all that stuff.
I want to say that you know what it's like to work hard. And for people that didn't listen to the last episode with you, Animal Sun has been around you guys have been playing for a little bit, haven't you?
A long time. I mean, I feel like we didn't find an identity until 2020.
Okay.
But we've been around since 2013. I mean, my brother and I have been playing as Animal Sun since 2013, 2014. So coming up on 7 years, which is exactly how long it took. Most of the bands that I listen to that are up there, like Catfish and the Bottlemen or the 1975, they were a band for 10 years before they got big, which is we're following the exact same trajectory. We were a band for 7-10 years before we started getting an identity, started getting traction, right? Our song Girl in Blue was kind of what set the stage for what we would sound like. And then we took the formula that was in that song, okay, well, we have a character, we have an identity, how do we create a universe around that, which is what we did for Echoes of a Dream. And that's kind of where our whole identities took shape. Okay, so we look like, so what we sound like, but it took 10 years of trial and error, not 10 years, 7 years of trial and error, right? And those of you go watch interviews of those bands, you'll see they said the same thing. They've been playing, Catfish and the Bottlemen started in 2007, right? They didn't get big until 2013, 2014. That's when they got signed, right?
Okay.
That's 8 years of the grind.
And you got signed recently, right?
Yeah, well, we got a single deal for Girl in Blue, which is how it starts, right? One opportunity leads to one and leads to another.
Yeah,
So I'm sure that this single deal with Universal Music is going to lead to a record deal, right? As long as the album does well and the tour goes well, right? That we got caught up in the fall. We can, we'll get something else out of it. And that's how it is. It always builds. 1975, I think is probably the biggest alternative band in the world right now, besides 21 Pilots, broke themselves kind of similar to how we're doing. They didn't have a major label that were I'm going to sign you and fund, this whole album. They did it themselves. Right. And now, of course, they're on a major, right, for distribution, but they were told no for 10 years.
That's so crazy too. And they're such a good band.
Yeah.
It blows my mind, man. I'm beginning to feel. I strongly feel like major labels don't actually know how to identify major talent, because
right.
huge. From 21 Pilots to 1975, they were all told no until they popped off, and then of course they wanted them. But I'm do you guys did you not realize the potential was there 5 years ago? I'm
right.
confused.
It seems like it's not about the music anymore. It's about the image,
Well, it's always been that way. A lot of artists get grown when they say that. The reality
I feel
is, in the 80s,
I feel like it was both,
Yeah. I think
Sorry.
the problem is the market is so saturated right now. Everybody's you can fart in a microphone and put it on Spotify. Everyone's doing it. So it's artists are getting frustrated because they're spending thousands of dollars or whatever it is, making music, and they put it online. It's got 10 streams. So they're it's impossible. Nobody cares, right? And the reality is that it just takes time to build it organically. The same way that, you would go to a band in the 80s, right? And they would play club to club to club to club to club, right? And it started out as 10 streams, right? Because 10 people came. And then it was 15 streams, and then 20 streams, 100 streams. And then like the same way that we built, because we put a song out online 5 years ago, and it had like 20 streams. Now, what do we have? Like, 3 million? Right? So it's the same thing, right? It's just artists have to do what they did in the clubs, but online, right? And then you have to take what you do online and then go back to what they did in the 80s and do it in the clubs. It's kind of like almost like back then it was like you played the live show to do the record, and now it's like you do the record to promote the live show.
Do you feel the accomplishments finally, like the frustration of trying, is that kind of going away a little bit? Like you kind of see some light at the end of the tunnel after all this time of working and going for it?
Yes, there is. There is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I know that, things are not like, amazing or anything yet, but just the fact that, we put out the album and it had like 50,000 plays in 4 days, like told me that people gave a shit. So
people like it.
Yeah, that got me really excited. For me, it's simple as this. Like you're always going to be taking steps back in life, right? But as long as you can look at the overall trend as being positive, like you look at things in terms of chapters, in terms of periods of time. Don't look at it day to day, because if you look at it day to day, it's going to be doing this, and then you're going to go crazy trying to quantify that. But if you look back over a year or 4, 5, 6 months, that's where you can really go, oh wow, then I only had this, and now I have this, right? So it's like that, and also setting tangible goals. And as you hit each goal, you set one that's slightly above it, right? So my goal this year was to hit 1 million. Right? Okay. Right? We hit that in like January. And so it's like, okay, 1 million. Now by the end of the year, I want to hit 5 million. Right. And then, you know what I mean? So like, every time you hit a goal, the idea is to just keep going. Right. And you never stop. I guarantee you, if you sat down with the Killers right now, it's Brandon Flowers here. He would do the same shit, but like on a different level. Right. He'd be like, okay, well, we've been playing 30,000 seat arenas. We want to do 40,000 after this record. Right. You know what I mean? Like the people that are at the top always had that mentality. It doesn't matter. They can hit the top. Like Billy Corgan, when you watch an interview with him with Melancholy Infinite Sadness, right? He's like, his manager called him and he's like, it's number 1 on the charts. And he goes, well, what's after that? Right? He's like, what's next? Right. So that's the same idea. Right. And you never lose track of that. But be grateful, right, for each victory and celebrate it along the way.
That's right, because your fans mean a lot. Yeah. I want you to explain to everyone who doesn't know that's watching what, and we'll watch later when it's on YouTube, Echoes of a Dream. Is that the name of an album?
Yes, it's the name of the record.
Okay, and that record already came out, correct?
Like 3 days ago, it just dropped Friday.
Okay, and that's the one where they have that song. The song we're gonna play is on it, right?
More Than a Friend, yes.
More Than a Friend. Okay.
We'll put it this way: we designed each one of the songs to be like the song, right? But the whole album is a concept album, so it tells this toxic love story of like two characters that are, represent the head and the heart, that red and blue, right? Philosophy, right?
Right.
And it goes to shit, but instead of breaking up, which you hear in every alternative rock generic bullshit, we made it so that they work through it, because human beings are really dynamic. They're not able to be put in boxes so easily. They change, right? They are not so stagnant. So we wanted to showcase that on the record, that, hey, you are more than your mental health issues. You can overcome them. You can be better. You can, and at the very end, they end up together. Right? They work through their bullshit and they end up together, which I thought was really interesting. I think that's the